Hey everybody, welcome to our downtown studios. Ramteen and Black with you, talking about, what are we talking about today?
Faber,
Urijah Faber, set to have his last mixed martial arts bout coming up this Saturday night on network TV, taking on the ultra tough, the very talented and experienced Brad Pickett. Urijah Faber going to go down as one of the most important fighters maybe in mixed martial arts history because of his impact on the smaller weight classes, 145 pounds, 135 pounds, and smaller. Oh, you can actually make an impact in the sport when you're that size. Urijah Faber was one of the main reasons why I tuned into the WEC.
He was one of the real reasons I started training fighting. You know, I've always looked at this, one of my favorite fighters ever. My very first fight, watching a fight with my wife. I'd been watching my whole life, but watching with my wife when we were dating, she watched Urijah Faber and Mike Thomas Brown do 25 minutes, and Urijah had 2 broken hands.
Amazing.
And Urijah, you hooked her. Thanks, man. It really helped. And Mike Brown as well. This is a perfect fight for Urijah to go out because Brad Pickett is a guy, he's an old school guy as well, and he's a guy with a lot of emotion, a lot of heart, and a lot of intense ferocity, and they're gonna, you watch, this fight is gonna be wonderful, but you're gonna feel it when Urijah's song hits and he comes walking out there. You're gonna feel this guy because he's a very smart, very self-aware guy. He's gonna drink in every moment and be so present in that moment, it's gonna be really exciting.
Faber, he must be disappointed. He had a number of opportunities to capture a UFC championship. Didn't manage to do so throughout his career, but we all consider Urijah Faber a champion because the WEC was, purchased by Zuffa and basically merged into the UFC. We've seen fighters from different organizations like Ronda Rousey and Dominic Cruz. Basically, they just took that title and became UFC champions. So Urijah Faber, if you look at it that way, kind of a UFC
100%.
champion at the highest level. And just the fights that he's been involved in, whether it's Renan Barão or Jose Aldo or Jens Pulver, outrageous. If you haven't seen that fight, it's just simply remarkable, the first fight that they had. And just his impact on California mixed martial arts. And it wasn't just MMA. He did like grappling events and ADCC, and his fingerprints can really be found all over martial arts, all over the U.S. and all over the world.
2 weeks later, Cody Garbrandt will be fighting for that title. And, Dom's an incredibly hard fighter to beat, and Urijah will be remembered for his conflict with Dom, his rivalry, those 3 brilliant fights. The only guy who's beaten Dom, and that's something he will be proud of, and he should be proud of. But he's also going to bring in the next crop, and if that guy could go out and knock Dominic Cruz out, if he could, that would be it. Imagine Urijah goes out in California and is able to say goodbye in the perfect way on network television as another protege fights in the main event. I know you're not a fan of the fact that Faber is not the main event. And then 2 weeks later, another protege goes in there and takes that belt. That's what his future will be. But Urijah Faber, one of the greats ever, and one of the great characters ever, and great fighters and coaches and figures, and I'm going to miss him.
Yeah, of course. And you pointed it out, Paige Van Zandt taking on Michelle Waterson, the karate hottie, in the main event, although Urijah Faber, based on everything he's done. When you think of game day performers, whether he wins or loses, Urijah Faber is always in fight shape mentally. Of course, many fighters say that they deal with injuries and they're hurt, and that's just a part of the game. But is there any type of performance that you saw from Urijah Faber throughout his career that wasn't A1?
No. Even in his last couple of fights, you're fighting Frankie Edgar and still going for it, not to be discouraged. And then you fight a young prospect on his way up, and it's that one when you're looking at the next wave of guys and you can't quite take it to another level to beat them. I think that's when Urijah was like, you hate to admit it, but it might be time. But even in that performance, he still was Urijah Faber, and I think he could fight for a long time and still put, especially against the guys like Brad, another great veteran with real skills and real heart, always shows, oh man, that fight's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
You think of these two guys, Pickett knows that he's not just gonna show up and be the opponent, he's there to win. He has this fight and maybe one more at home where he says goodbye, and these two guys meeting here, they'll be thankful for each other. This is a perfect way to do it. But I will miss watching Urijah Faber fight, and my wife's going to miss watching Urijah Faber
Not only as an opponent, if you're Brad Pickett. If you're Brad Pickett, if you have an opportunity to go and take out Urijah Faber, get a win on your resume over Urijah Faber, you would have to imagine, because Brad Pickett, I think, has been teasing his retirement from mixed martial arts as well. I'd be very surprised if you go out and you beat Urijah Faber. It's like, how in the world is it going to get any better than this?
I know he, on some level, wants to say goodbye in England, but goodbye. Thank you, Faber, for a great career. By the way, I beat you, and that would be the way to go out. But these guys, you know, they've had great careers. This is who they are. Pickett even more so. Urijah has his gym, and he has real estate, and he has other businesses. Brad Pickett has a very full life as well, but Brad Pickett is defined by his ferocious desire to win fights. And this fight's going to be great. It's going to be very special.
Coming up this Saturday night, it will be the very last fight for mixed martial arts legend Urijah Faber.